What's up, Edmonds School District family? My name is Letitia Williams, and I'm a student support advocate at Mount Lake Terrace High School. Myself and my colleagues work with students and families throughout their educational journey. What's a student support advocate, you might ask? Well, we work alongside students and families with lots of different things. Oftentimes we're helping with housing, we might be helping with mental health, and any other resource a family might need. We work closely with school counselors, school psychologists, teachers, and administrators advocating on behalf of students. So your time is valuable to us. It's so important to us. We know there's so many things going on. And we're going to give you short 5 to 10 minute segments around mental health. And we're going to talk about the following topics. We're going to start with an introduction, so that's with me. We're going to move then into COVID and anxiety. From COVID and anxiety, we're going to take a pause and we're going to do a Zoom session. Let's do a live session. Let's interact with one another and ask and answer any questions that you might have. Then we're going to move on and we're going to hear about how stress might impact you and might be impacting your student. And then we're going to end on depression. And like we said, in this short time, you're not going to be experts on these topics. We're just hoping to help you take the next step. And so if there's anything that we can do to support you throughout the process, at the end of every video there will be a resource list and some phone numbers that you can contact. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And racism impacts our mental health. Whether we know it or not, whether we believe it or not, racism impacts our mental health. I know for me personally, it impacts me on a daily basis. So I just wanted to hop on here and give you guys a few tips when you're thinking about racism and mental health together. So my first tip would be limit your media intake. It's hard to watch every single day harm come to people who look like you. I got to a point where I couldn't do it anymore. I could not physically sustain working all day, being in community with my family, and engaging in watching harm come to people who look like me every day. So I had to limit my media intake. I slowed it way down. The news will be here tomorrow. The news story will be here tomorrow. I don't have to consume it all at once. I have a choice about what I consume. And even though I didn't think it was impacting me on the surface level, like immediately, what I came to find out is that it was impacting me unconsciously. That my shoulders would rise. I would feel the tension in my stomach. I would have knots in my stomach when we were talking about things of racism, particularly when you're talking about Black people. And so I had to notice those cues. And so for you, I would say take notice to the cues that your body is giving you when you're interacting with something that has to do with racism. When you're watching a news story, when you're looking at media, pay attention to your body's cues. They're trying to tell you something. And even now, having this conversation, I can feel it in my shoulders. I can feel it in my stomach a little bit. And I'm going to try to be mindful of those cues. Tip number 2 is recognize that your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, your physical experience, as it relates to racism and as it relates to mental health, is all valid. 100% valid. You don't have to seek that validation from outside of you. If those are feelings that come on, trust those feelings. And then take it to the next step. Who is in your circle of influence? Who are the people that you trust that you can talk to about what you're feeling, that can help guide you, that can support you, that can walk alongside you? Because the myth is that you have to acknowledge, as people of color, that we have to acknowledge these things and deal with them ourselves. When actually we were built for community and to lock arms with one another. And so who are the people in your life that you can lock arms with? I would encourage you to write those people's names down, and write their phone numbers down. Shoot them a text message if you have anything going on with you, because we need one another in order to get through this. And my third and final tip is to take care of yourselves. As people of color, as people in general, and as it relates to racism, we carry this weight on our shoulders at all times. Weight that we are sometimes conscious of, other times we aren't conscious of. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. This work takes time, and in order to be there for the long haul, whatever level we want to be involved at, we're going to have to take care of ourselves. And so you're going to learn throughout all of these different sessions ways that you can cope and strategies that you can utilize. Taking care of yourself may mean going to seek out a therapist and meeting with someone on a regular basis that you can have conversations with and discuss how you're doing. It could also mean planning something every single week that you spend quality time with your family or your loved ones. It can mean going out on a walk or a run or engaging in philosophical and meaningful conversations. You guys get to be the gauge of what's going to be the best self-care for you, but I would encourage you to figure out what self-care you're going to do in order to do this for the long haul. This is the beginning. By no means by the end of these 3-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute segments are you going to know everything you need to know about mental health. It's not meant to be like that. It's ever evolving, it's ever changing. But what you will be able to take away is, where do I go next? What resources will I have access to? Who can I call upon within the school district if I need support with my student? And that's what we're here for, to help you guys get to the next step. So welcome. We're so glad you're here. We hope that you take something away, and let's begin.